Scattered across the southeast is a wealth of entrepreneurial spirit eager to be discovered. At the heart of this lies a local business community hungry for a new generation of entrepreneurs. Concepts have been whittled down, business plans dissected, and nerves truly tested. The race is on to determine who will walk away with a remarkable £50,000 worth of products and services. Who will land on their feet? Who will be left standing when the time is up? Welcome to the final of Young Startup Talent 2016.
All it takes is for that server to go down to 15 minutes and you will see the dirtiest side of people you've ever seen in your life.
It's a business of scalability. It's the sort of business where you need tens of thousands of customers to be able to make decent money.
How's he going to know to use you and not somebody else?
You don't need to spend all the money finishing it off.
On Thursday the 21st of January 2016, a total of 8 successful applicants attended the Young Startup Talent semi-final. Held at Base Point Business Centre, the evening was set out to put the young entrepreneurs, all aged between 16 and 25, through their paces. In attendance were judges and sponsors from the local area who were keen to see the range of ideas entering the process. 2 months on from the semi-final, 5 entrepreneurs have been selected and are about to pitch in front of the Gatwick Diamond Business Elite. Making up the panel for 2016 includes new to the 2016 Gatwick Diamond panel as Non-Executive Director of Young Startup Talent is a 17-year-old award-winning tech entrepreneur who houses a workforce of 15. Having recently been named by Richard Branson as one of the most exciting entrepreneurs in the world, Director of SquareMile, Ben Towers. With years of experience building up his award-winning design, marketing and print agency in the southeast, he aims to use his wealth of knowledge to find the next generation of young entrepreneurs. Managing Director of Creative Pod and founding partner of Young Startup Talent, Matt Turner. With 14 years experience advising numerous businesses specialising in corporate finance matters including acquisitions and mergers, she has a wide range of knowledge in business law. Solicitor and partner at PDT Solicitors, Rebecca Glazebrook. Returning to the Young Startup Talent panel for a third year is a man with over 25 years experience in the banking industry. Heading up the corporate lending business team in the south of England, he is focused on supporting the growth and development of the local business community. Managing Director of NatWest in the southern region, Daryl Gaylor. Developing strong links with local and national media, she has a range of knowledge in numerous sectors, with a passion for helping young entrepreneurs. She is the Managing Director of PR agency Media Wordwaves and a founding partner of Young Startup Talent, Lorraine Nugent. A long-term supporter of Young Startup Talent is accountant and partner of one of the Southeast's leading accountancy firms. Having a focus on building relationships with clients to achieve their business and personal goals, partner of Richard Place Dobson, Matthew Tyson. Responsible for designing and implementing people strategies throughout the company, she is the latest judge to join the panel. With 18 years experience in people management and organisational development, Director of People and Premises with B&CE, Zoe Wright. Responsible for the flight avionics, training and simulation businesses located in the UK, he houses a workforce of around 800 employees, as well as overseeing 2,500 staff within their Crawley site. Vice President of Thales, Peter Hitchcock. Making their way to pitch first is a group of 6 aspiring businessmen and women who are looking to bring their unique bakery to life with the help of the Young Startup Talent team. During the semi-final, the team had the judges and sponsors wanting more after sampling their tasty treats.
There's no nervousness whatsoever, although sometimes being nervous is good. Because I'm about to go in and deal with my pitch, that's going to make me even more excited, and I'm full of confidence.
With a vast range of entrepreneurial talent in the process, can they deliver?
Good evening. We are a group of adults with special needs. Setting up our own business will allow us to have a really great job that we can all enjoy. We chose a bakery because we want to showcase our talent for baking, ICT and design technology. We will aim to create awesome tasting cakes that will make other people very happy. Our packaging will be funky and bright, and we want to inspire other young adults like us. Our bakery will produce
special bakes by
special
people.
The reason we wanted to do this is because although we have learning disability, we also have a lot of skills. At present, over 90% of people with learning disability don't have a permanent job. We want to use our skills to make something special for other people to enjoy. This will give us fulfilling long-term employment. And we hope that what we are doing will inspire other groups of adults with learning disability so they can do the same.
We intend to make high-quality, delicious baked products, such as shortbread, lemon drizzle loaf cake, flapjacks and brownies. We will also offer some gluten-free options. We practiced making some of our favourite bakes. Here is a selection of what we have recently made. Please help yourselves to some samples. We recently enjoyed a baking masterclass with professional chefs in a professional kitchen at Stooks. Kate made the shortbread in a masterclass.
Bring them over, Kate.
Bring
them over.
Can we try one? Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is Jubilee. She was the idea behind our logo and our packaging. We will take Jubilee as our mascot. When we begin to sell our bakes, we will design the packaging and add made by or packed by stamps.
We will approach schools, colleges, day centres, offices and shops to retail our products. We are very aware how important food hygiene and safety is. We have got level 1 food safety qualifications and we will do more ongoing training. We will follow food standard agency guidances on preparation and storage, and we will ensure our labelling is correct and meets allergy regulations.
Any profits we make, we will reinvest back into our business and make a donation to a worthy cause.
We want our business to be very personal, and we want to treat our customers, colleagues and suppliers with respect, the way we would like to be treated ourselves. We want to enjoy the world of work.
How will you market your cakes and who are your target audience?
We would like to use social media advertising to promote our bakes. We will also produce leaflets and flyers that we can hand out to potential customers. We are also looking into the possibility of promoting our bakes through stalls at County Mount Crawley and Horsham Market. We are also aware of the pop-up shop in Horsham, and we'll be looking into whether that is a good opportunity to showcase our products. We have had our first bake sale confirmed by Colliers College Horsham.
How do you see Young Startup Talent and the prize fund helping you develop this whole project?
Being part of the Young Startup Talent has been really exciting and challenging. We hope we can ask the YST team, as well as previous finalists, for more advice in the future. The prize would help us with buying equipment, printing and publicity. Companies such as Creative Pod, Social Marley and Media Wordwaves could help us with website design, marketing materials, social media activities and press coverage. Banking and legal help would be really useful too. We know we will need a lot of support to get Jubilee Bakes going. We would appreciate any help which the sponsors are able to give us. We have a lot of excellent skills and we will work very hard.
We want to make people happy.
We want to do a job.
We are a good team and we have known each other a long time.
7 heads are better than 1.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because we are the best.
Yeah!
How did you make the Jubilee?
We made the Jubilee out of the pictures of, what we do at QE2. And Jubilee is the one we recently made.
Jubilee is our mascot and originally came from the QE2 school in Horsham. Some of the group here have also come from QE2.
I love your branding. I think your branding is really, really good. And I think your aprons, you could sell them.
Yeah.
I really think you could sell them. The only thing I don't like is the giraffe. I just feel like he's always looking at me.
Don't worry, you just ignore the giraffe and focus on me.
And I like the packaging. I think it's really, really nice. You've done a very, very good job.
So have you all made all of the packaging?
Right. Yeah, we have to make it all into like in a little box and put it in the tray and then make it nice and stand out beautifully, ready to give out to the customers when we open our own cafe.
What's your favourite product you do?
Well, mine is making flapjacks and other lemon drizzle loaf cake. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next to pitch is a confident young entrepreneur who is looking to bring his product into the 2016 Gatwick Diamond final. During the semi-final, Robbie had the judges and sponsors hooked with his innovative doorbell concept.
The young startup talent process so far has been really interesting. I've managed to meet with sponsors and judges to get advice about my business and actually develop my business massively from start to finish. Pretty nervous, but I'm excited. Mostly it would give me confidence to develop further, and also it's going to give me that boost I need.
Having established his business plan early in the process, can he win over the judges?
My name is Robbie Walder. I'm a college student from Colliers in Horsham, and I'm currently studying business, politics and law at A-level. In late 2015, a problem arose to me. The fact that there was a rise for home security, yet an increase in mental illness such as dementia, and the amount of old age pensioners living at home by themselves. This creates a window of vulnerability when it comes to opening the door. Currently, there are electronic doorbells available from Amazon, ranging from £160 to £250. These offer the basic video features, and they offer cloud recording as well. The average shipping time for these products is 2 weeks, and the average review is 1 to 3 stars. These factors question customers before buying the product because they want products which are convenient, cheap, and they want them to be consistent. Introducing Synced-In. Synced-In is an electronic doorbell which allows you to communicate with visitors to your home and your friends/family's homes. The main features of Synced-In can be divided into 5 main sections. There's the online mode, the offline mode, the retro mode, the cloud, and the devices page. The online mode is where you can set a hierarchy of who the doorbell will call first. You can change this order at any time from the app. Also, within the online mode, there's a SIM card feature. The SIM card does not come with the doorbell itself. However, it is an add-on for those who don't have internet on the go. The fact that you can connect to multiple devices is yet to be seen on current electronic doorbells. Also, the SIM card feature is yet to be seen, as well as the fact that all these electronic doorbells have no offline mode. So say you're out and about and you couldn't take calls, the doorbell becomes useless. Initially, I'll need £11,000 to start up. 3,000 of this will come from my savings from my part-time job, 2,000 of this could come from the competition, and the rest will come from internal loads from my family. In terms of marketing, I'm going to use door-to-door sales as one of my marketing techniques. So after 6 PM on weekdays and weekends, I will visit doors and pitch my product to them and give them a business card. As well as this, I'm going to use Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is Amazon Marketplace, but for premium users. Although normal users can use Amazon Prime, it allows me to tailor towards the more premium users and stand out amongst the current competition. This is because my price will be lower, as well as the fact they can get next day delivery through Prime. In the future, I aim to contact home retail groups such as Argos and the Home Base and possibly get my product stocked on their shelves. Within the 5 years, I aim to join a tech incubator. From the tech incubator, I'd get the funding and the general environment I need to develop my product further. I wish to interlock the doorbell with the doorbell system, with the door itself, and possibly look into features such as wireless key entry, entry authorization from your mobile phone, fingerprint ID entry, automatic locking systems, and electronic keys. These are just ideas that I have for the future.
I'm getting huge amounts of the creativity from you, and you've thought through an awful lot of this. I wonder, have you thought about your ideas about how to protect those and talk to people who make the products, so you don't have to get involved in that.
In terms of legislation, I do need to look further into that, especially with the SIM card feature, so that is something I will be looking into.
You're going to be very hard pushed to generate any volume, and you're not going to get repeat business so much from door to door. This sort of lends itself to trying to sell a lot through TV channels, for example, the QVCs and the various other channels, but you'd have to do it at a discount, but you'll be able to buy in bulk as well. And I can see you've talked in your numbers about once you're able to sell, I think it's 50, you're getting a 20% reduction on your price. Who is it you're buying the base product from?
So this is basically just a Raspberry Pi setup. So it's what basic coders use, because I'm new to coding, and yes, that was my first time with coding, so this was all new to me.
How will you address people's concerns with security? One of my concerns with this is I wouldn't necessarily want people to know that I wasn't in. So even with the phone through to my mobile or leaving a voicemail, it then indicates to anybody who's rung the doorbell that I'm not there. How will you address those concerns?
Something I will look towards in the future is actually developing a doorbell which maybe turns on a light when it's pressed or maybe makes background noise. However, having a doorbell as a whole which can contact your phone is a lot more secure than just having the doorbell itself. I mean, if you call the doorbell and no one answers, that's also an indicator that no one's there. So at least this gives you the option to actually talk to the person there. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks.
Next to pitch is an aspiring young entrepreneur looking to bring his unique sweet company to the market. Sweetman Sweets made a good impression with the team during the semi-final, displaying entrepreneurial spirit and dedication.
I mean, I'm not nervous. I'm most confident about having a good product, a good brand, and knowing what to do. You need to have a solid business idea, and you need to think it through to the final detail.
Will his idea leave a sour note with the judges or leave them wanting more?
I'm Petrus, and my idea is to start up a sweet store in East Grinstead called Sweetman Sweets. What I aim to do is provide healthier sweets with unique sweets and a few different ones. My strategy is to sell in the market square. It's an optimum location, high street, very busy, and the profit margin can be very big as people are willing to spend a lot more in the high street than they normally would. I expect to expand within 8 months to 10 months within profit. So once I have broken even, I should expect to spend 8 months developing. I want to provide retro sweets, which are aimed at older people. Also want to provide American sweets. Now these are unique. Many people, as I did some primary market research, many people did say that they want to see American sweets, especially like your peanut butter cups, your Jolly Ranchers. These are the things people look for. People want to see a traditional sweet retailer instead of just your corner stores and your 99p store. There is a competitor in Crawley, Mr. Sims, very well established. So I thought, how can I compete with the competitor by changing one part of the marketing mix? And I believe that changing the product to something that Mr. Sims do not provide is the key. So my idea is for after about 6 months, I will introduce what I call helper bags. Now this is a bag that will contain sugar-free sweets, which is a healthier alternative to your regular sweets, with an activity card that says, if you consume this much sweets, you should exercise for this long. Now this is good for parents because it's discouraging obesity, encouraging active lives, reducing sugar intake. So it keeps the children healthier, and it will have a fun fact on top.
What made you choose sweets?
Well,
as opposed to toys, games, computers, something like that. Why sweets?
Originally, There was a sweet shop in East Grinstead, and we were all in primary school. We used to love that place. And it closed down, unfortunately. Now, I have looked at the competitor, and they have this atmosphere when you walk into the shop. They have, the walls stacked with, your classical cylindrical jars.
Isn't that cool though? Like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Retro, that's cool, right?
It's retro sweets.
Yeah, like a retro style. And I was like, okay, so what can I do to make myself stand out? And this is where the idea for the helper bag came, which I have explained to you.
But they could have it like that. They could just overnight start selling healthy bags.
They don't offer this big range. For example, they do not have any Japanese sweets. And even if I can offer them free, to start with, 3 types of Japanese sweet, that's still giving me an edge. American sweets, peanut butter cups,
Are there any Japanese sweets in this bag?
Unfortunately, no.
Are there any Japanese in East Grinstead?
I have not seen any.
What actually are Japanese sweets?
They're made by Japanese recipe. They're in a packaging that's Japanese. It's bright, it's flashy, it's got, your Japanese signs. So people it stands out straight away.
So it's a hyped up Cadbury's bar?
Yeah.
But what, okay, they're like chocolate or they're...
There's different. The ones I looked at, simply mint gum, green tea, maca green, Kit Kat, and there was like milky bottles. Those, like Haribo's do them, but they're Japanese. The sweets don't always vary that much.
Do you think there's going to be sufficient demand and repeat business to justify that? Because what concerns me a little bit is that, I could imagine going into a sweet shop and wanting to try something different. But I can't think of when I last walked into a sweet shop, I thought, I really fancy a Japanese sweet, or I really fancy a sugar-free sweet today. I'm just not sure, it almost is sort of counterintuitive to ask for a sugar-free sweet.
I'm not expecting the person to think, oh, I want Japanese sweets. I expect the person to walk up and see these Japanese sweets and be like, oh, what's that? I've never seen this before. I have to try this, And then they tell their friends and more people will buy it.
I think you might be hard pushed to get people asking you that, which is why I think it's important you pull people in with their favourites, the ones they know, and it comes down to you to then be able to say, try some of these, have a little selection box, little sample giveaways. What do you think of this?
Yeah.
I'm a parent and I think I'd take my children to a sweet shop for sweets as a treat. Yeah. And I think that the idea of having an activity card in it shouldn't only apply to a helper bag, but surely it's educating people on the sweet side. So if you eat this many full fat, full of sugar sweets, what that equates to in exercise.
I'd say August should be your busiest month, and actually August has less sales than the previous month, July. August
July,
I was going to ask what was special about July.
There are many carnivals, events that always happen, and you can expect to make at least £500 revenue in a night. You can overprice your sweets, and people still will buy it because it's so convenient.
Super Petrus, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next to pitch is a talented young entrepreneur who has brought his innovative technology-based concept into the 2016 Gatwick Diamond final. During the semi-final stage, Thomas dealt well with the quick-fire questions from the judges and sponsors.
I found it quite nerve-wracking at first, but now it's just pure excitement. I must admit today has been me just anxiously waiting. Definitely exhilarated. Very confident at the moment. Very confident.
With knowledge and understanding of his craft, he has impressed the judges. As the final heats up, can Thomas deliver a sound pitch?
My name is Thomas Hussey. I am the founder of Zaoby. Zaoby is a technology corporation, or that's how I envision it in the future anyway. It's primarily based towards hobbyists and gamers. I've been able to become parts of different communities throughout the internet that offer gaming, technology support, and so on and so forth. I was one of the first 500 funders of a project called the Raspberry Pi.
If I came into you and said, I'm interested, what am I buying from you?
Well, initially, during the first 3 months, you'll be buying websites from me. You'll be buying the entire package. It's going to be done on an SLA level.
Right.
But...
So this would be just for hosting?
Initially, it will just be hosting, because initially, I won't be able to afford to be able to immediately branch out into servers and branch out into these different...
No, but presumably if you're hosting websites, you're targeting people like me who are in business.
No.
Right.
This is where my...
I'm trying to identify who your customers are.
My customers are people like me, so hobbyists and gamers. CVs are now hosted online sometimes through .me domains. So people put their portfolios and what they've done, their digital works, as it were, on .me domains. So I'm aiming at much less business. I'm aiming at people like me, people who want to create their own websites, a bit techie, want to program in PHP or Python online and create their own website. This was suggested to me, but I should try and not go into building the product myself because it's going to cost me thousands, and then I'd need premises, redundancy, and all these sorts of things that I simply wouldn't have. I've looked into reseller hosting and packages that will be able to assist me while I grow.
What companies have you looked in for that?
Well, initially I inquired at Rackspace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went...
I'd get a mortgage out for that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at my idea of ever moving out, gone if I were to go for there, but I was very focused on being able to offer a very versatile and global network. So I had to approach different companies. I tried Reg123 that doesn't offer reseller hosting, but I thought if I asked them and inquired, then there's no harm. The host I'm on does actually offer core access. They're allowed to install Linux packages and directly SSH into it.
The problem with that though is then I could be touching your package on the server, because core access to the server means I can delete all your files without...
Oh, I see what you mean. It sets up a Docker. So it's an enclosed private environment.
I just want to ask you a bit of an off-the-wall question, because I don't really understand any of this technical stuff. Where did you come with the name of the company?
When I was a child, I suffer from dyslexia and dyspraxia and autism, and they're quite, you're very good at certain aspects. I always loved creating my own stories. I absolutely adored it. And I invented a race of robots. And they were called Zaoby Chronos, and the business that controlled them was called Zaoby.
You can pay somebody all the money in the world, and they still won't have the same passion, desire, loyalty, commitment, drive as you. It's your baby. No one loves or cares about your baby more than you.
I'm fully aware of that. I've learned that over hosting the community side of the of Zaoby for 3 years.
Because you have actually done this, sort of, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got the website up, I've got the billing management.
Before you go live, you walk to make sure that you've got a service level agreement on your website that people sign up to, and you've got to get it right. And I think one of the issues is going to be your time. If you're busy dealing with somebody else and you've given a response time that cannot be met, you're going to immediately fall foul of your...
It's why I'm setting up it up as a beta service. It's going to be Zaoby beta test. It's going to be me setting up. They're going to expect quirks, but they pay less for those quirks.
Okay, so you're going to trial it first on the basis that you're finding a way?
Yes, my entire project was based on growth, and I've been able to learn through the growth of the last minimal 3 years and being able to trial how I grew through that, and it was quite dramatic. People wanted different things. They tried to hack into the server, they tried to manipulate, they tried to take more traffic than they were allowed, and I've learned through it how to stop certain things that I wouldn't have simply known beforehand.
Okay.
Okay, Thomas.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next to pitch is a passionate businessman from Crawley. His mission is to provide a technological platform where users and companies can integrate. After delivering a first-class pitch during the speed networking session, Akan is amongst a talented group of entrepreneurs in this year's final.
Very informative. I've learned a lot from it already. Quite nervous, but I'm prepared, so I'm quite eager to get out of the way. Kind of looking forward to them questioning me so that I can kind of make them understand what it is that my business is all about and hopefully learn from their questions as well.
Can you win over the judges?
Hi judges, my name is Akan Ekanen. I'm a 23-year-old graduate from the University of Essex and I study banking and finance. My business that I'm pitching to you today is called SquareMile UK, and it's a transportation network company that allows customers to search for local cab companies and prices, cheaper prices in the area of travel. Now it actually allows you to search for the companies in that area and book your travel in advance, and then it sends the hired vehicle from the listed company on our platform, so you actually get to use it as a price comparison. So for example, if I'm traveling to Birmingham and I don't know the companies in that area, normally I would just jump into a metered cab. However, that is quite costly. So our aim is to reduce the travel expenses of most commuters, as a lot of people do travel every single day to work. So once I got to Birmingham station, I would be able to put in my current location to where I'm looking to go to, and it will show me the local companies in that area and how much they will charge, and also the waiting time for this. In order for the companies to be listed on our platform, they would actually pay us £250. That's a one-off fee, and that's just to be listed on our platform.
Is this going to be something local to start with?
Yeah, it would be. We would start it off locally, so it's not something that would actually kickstart nationally, because it's more about starting it off small and moving from area to area. So it would start off in Crawley. I've actually spoken to cab companies, and I spoke to one today as well, just to do some research on how much an app would help them. Now, 3 of the main ones in Crawley don't actually get any increased custom through their app. However, the smallest one, called Ace Cars, gets around 600, they do about 600 journeys a day, and they found that 40% of their journeys come from the application itself.
You should say to the first 20, 25, we're commission only. It's a punt for the taxi company. You know, if you get no sales from us, no loss. If you get sales from us, you win.
Founding members. Founding members is what you need.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is, if you were coming to me and I was a taxi company, we're just having an app on your phone. If I had, so Metro was one of the ones you listed, and I use them.
Yeah.
What about just having a Metro app? Well, I know it's moving away from having slightly what you're doing, but if I was a taxi company and at the moment I'm a big one in Crawley, I'm not getting anything through an app. It's probably because I've not got an app.
Yeah.
Why not just have my own app?
Now, the apps that some companies have tried to get, they're quite cheap apps. So they're not necessarily apps that you can book, track, update your details, pay through. They're quite cheap apps, so they don't necessarily cost a lot to make.
If I'm coming to Crawley, say come from Newcastle, come down to Crawley for a weekend, how am I going to know about you? How are you going to tell me about who you are and why to use your app?
Yeah, however, like I did say, it's not something that we're starting off nationally. We're starting it off in an area, and we're gonna relaunch it. So everywhere that we go, if we're in Crawley, we're gonna launch it in Crawley first.
And as if I'm visiting Crawley, and because obviously people who use taxis tend to be people which are visiting the area a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I'm visiting Crawley, how do I know to use you and not Uber, not Cabby?
Well, Uber and Cabby, they're not in Crawley, for example.
Where's the second biggest airport in the country?
Yeah, it's Gatwick.
Oh, it's in Crawley. Let's set
exactly.
up in Crawley. So the question I've got is, they might not be here today, but it doesn't take a genius to work out that
eventually
they're going to be coming here tomorrow.
The benefit, I guess, would be if I was going to Birmingham, for example, and I wanted to pre-book a cab, I didn't want to rely on a cab being at the station when I got there, and I didn't want to have to pay the prices that are and I wanted to work out who could I pay and pre-book with.
Yeah.
If I could press a button that said Birmingham International Airport and it came up with 10 cabs and it came up with the best price for my journey, that would be great.
Yeah.
But for that to work, you've got to have every possible journey or computation of distances or prices loaded into that, and then you've got to factor in waiting times and who's available and who's got drive. that just feels like a hell of an act. It'd be great if you could do it. I'm just not quite sure whether that's how it could be done.
Yeah, I've most of the concerns that you've just raised, I've actually put them in. I've actually got quotations for the full app itself. So what I paid.
What is the quotation for the full app?
It's about 20 to 40k.
Dollars or sterling?
Sterling. Because it is a very complicated application itself. It is a very,
And
very.
how long will that take to build?
It could take anywhere up to 6 months.
Okay, all right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
As we draw closer to the end of another fantastic year within the Gatwick Diamond, the judges have to make the difficult decision of selecting just one entrepreneur who will walk away with £50,000 worth of products and services. Young Startup Talent would like to thank their sponsors and judges for their support, and we look forward to working with the next set of entrepreneurs in 2017. The entrepreneurs who made it through the process now have the business network and support to make their business a success. To find out more about Young Startup Talent, the sponsors involved, and to follow the progress of the entrepreneurs, please visit youngstartuptalent.co.uk.